Pandas, 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 pandas. Good morning, my pandas. Welcome to my stream. I'm glad that you guys can join us. I'm Bye Money, and here we trade the E-mini every single day. So I'm glad that you guys are here. Thanks for waiting. We just finished the pre-market show and always have a great time there. I hope one day you guys could join us for those who are interested. The pre-market show, we go over all my off-stream trades and also account balances. And so if you guys want to follow a little more closely on my journey here, for those who want to be supportive, hate when that happens. Please consider becoming a panda or super panda. You get access to that. Make sure you guys fill out that poll. Let me know what kind of day you think it's going to be today. It will start shortly. We do have a trap trade here setting up for us. I'm not sure if I like it though. I mean, typically we have one more test, spike channel. Spike and channel here. Spike. The channel's a little weird though. I'm not sure. This is a spike. I'm not sure. This is a little confusing, but this would, to me, would be the spike. Overshoot. We do have a trap trade here. High chance to make a point reversing, but in my opinion, this context here seems like it wants to test another high here, and I'm just not willing to go short right here. I just don't see it. I just don't see the short trade right now. But the setup is there, so I'm gonna pass this because I don't like the context. But we do have a short trade coming up here, and it looks like the volume is just very slow right now. Very slow. We are actually below yesterday's close. So we'll see what happens here, but we do have a potential trap trade here, and we could get a quick scalp. I'm gonna skip it, pandas, and I'm thinking because we're gonna make a new high here, and that's what I'm thinking. But who knows, pandas? Let's see what happens. Well, let me say good morning to a couple of you guys. Day trading like a predator. Good morning, Speedy Boy. Welcome back, Gray Gungor. Good morning, Kid Poker. Good morning. Welcome, CJ, Steve Crew from Florida. Yeah, drop a GM in the chat. Also location. Let them know where you guys are from. Vasco Pires says, wouldn't it be better for your analysis to also look at lower time frame? I mean, I guess technically you can go as low as you want, but for my trading, I think the 2000 tick chart is the lowest I need to go. I also look at the 10K, the 5-minute as well. And so I like to use those as confirmation of perhaps when it's difficult to know, like, for an uptrend or downtrend, these higher time frames help. But the 2000 tick for me is low enough. It's about like a 2 to 3 minute time frame. I mean, it's always different because it's tick chart, so it's based on transactions, not on time. But it ends up being around average a 2 to 3 minute tick chart or time chart. And so Kid Poker says, New Jersey, baby. We got a lot of people from New Jersey. Man, it's nice. I don't spend much time in New Jersey. I just know New Jersey has I've been to a couple of diners there, and like I mentioned, I always go to a place called Mitsuwa. It's right at the Manhattan River before you go into New York, and so always stop by there. It's a little Tokyo there. Jar from Florida. Welcome to the stream. Glad you guys can join us. All right, so let's do some pre-market analysis as we wait for more people to join. Big push down. Let's look at the daily real quick. See if we can get information here. And oh boy, the daily. What did the daily do? Comes up and tests the 20 EMA on the daily and bounces right off of it. Finally touched the 20 EMA here, and the reaction off of it seems like it's acting as resistance. Also bouncing off the 240 SMA. The 240 and also the 20 EMA are converging here, and it hit both and bounced off. The one thing I didn't like is, not the thing I didn't like, but one thing I'm noticing is that we didn't actually hit the top of our trading range. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4.5 points away. I mean, when we talk about daily time frame on the 4,000, 4.5, thousand dollar product, you know, four points is nothing. You know, you might as well say it hit it, but we'll see here. I mean, man, if we bounce off here, pandas, like when you see these green bars like this, you're thinking, okay, this is gonna be the reversal. This is it. But in my opinion, this is far from, you know, there's no signs yet that this has reversed. We have a reversal setup, but it has not reversed. If it reversed, then we would be breaking previous pivot highs, but we haven't even broken above the previous pivot high, which is right up here. And so, in my opinion, we're still in a downtrend. We're still underneath the 20 EMA. We're still actually within this channel here. We had an overshoot here, and we kind of got an overshoot here again, and we're coming back up. I mean, I may change it, but I will adjust my channel if we make a new low. I will adjust it, but for right now, I think this is what I want to use. I think it gives us enough information for me at least, but pretty much a 20 EMA, and if we break a previous candle's low here, man, I'm thinking we're gonna continue to go down, which is weird to say about the S&P 500 because you rarely get a downtrend. But right now we're getting a downtrend on the daily, and two pushes down, one push, pull back, another push down, and so in a like a higher time frame, this is one push down, one push up, one push down. I've never looked at the weekly, really, but yeah, the thing about the weekly is just a little too big of a time frame because we're day traders, so I'm not gonna really look at the weekly, but the daily here, I don't know. We could have a pause bar here. We could have a trading range type day today and decide what to do here because we're kind of at a pivotal point right now, and kind of like when you throw a ball in the air. It kind of pauses in the air before it comes back down, and so that's kind of what we might be doing here. We threw a ball in the air, it's pausing, and maybe the ball has some jet boosters and might shoot up higher. But if we are going to continue downwards, what happens? We throw it up, it pauses a little bit, and then the market decides what it wants to do, and then either it goes down or goes back up. And so, especially when you're at a point of resistance, the market is trying to either decide, are we going to bounce off this resistance, or we can break through it. And so this is why we usually get a pause around this area. Fascinating. We don't even trigger that trap, and we might be making a point here now. So we don't trigger that trap, it was really close to triggering. And that's kind of what I mentioned. Like, I didn't feel like it was a good spot to go short here. I wasn't thinking of going short right there. In fact, I was thinking we were going to make a new high, and we might be doing that now. So that's why I was going to skip this trap even if it triggered. And with that being said, pandas, I have no idea what's going to happen today. I'm thinking it's going to be a trading range day today. If I were to guess, trading range, but who knows? It's hard to say. Based on the daily, I don't get much information. I mean, other than we hit, our resistance. And so typically what happens is, we pause in this area. And kind of like right here, we pushed up, we paused, right, made a trading range day, and then finally made us decide to go down. Here we're back up, pausing. Are we gonna decide to go back down, or are we gonna try to go up? And this is when trading gets confusing. It gets confusing in these spots. Now if it pauses here and breaks below a previous candle's low, then you're thinking, okay, we might have some good direction going down now. But when you're kind of like in this area, it's a little hard to say. So spike channel, and then what we're trying to do now is this channel broke, and we're going to retest the high, the top of this channel. We'll see if we can test that. That's what I'm expecting, but I have no idea. Especially with the trap trade about to trigger on a 10,000 tick chart. We have a trap trade here, and I mean, we do have two pushes down. It's just weird. I don't know. Two pushes down here, and I mean, if I were to draw this, I would have to draw it like this. But yeah, I mean, that's a failed trap there, and pushes up strongly. And I would like to go long here actually on the trap on the 10,000 tick, and maybe scalp a point here, but big risk as well. Big risk. And but I like the setup here. I like the setup a lot. I mean, we could say this is break a trend to new low, and we're looking for a reversal here on the 10,000 tick chart, and that might be a reversal trade, maybe back up to the highs here. I mean, it's a beautiful setup. I really like it to go long. The one thing that's stopping me right now is the fact that it's 9:27 a.m. Eastern time, and we're about to have a market open. And I don't like to be in a trade when the market opens. And I feel like if I enter here, I will be kind of stuck in this trade until I either get stopped out or make my point. But I feel like I'll be in my trade until the market opens, and then there it might just spike me out, which sucks. So I'm just gonna sit on my pause and wait for the market open here, even though I like that setup. Russell H says, I took that second entry long. I was sweating. Let's go, baby. At least you made your point. Got your scalp. So we break above this pivot high. This is the 2000 tick chart. If we break above this pivot high, then we actually would be triggering that trap on a 10,000 tick chart. So I may consider it. If we get a good setup on the 2000 tick chart that would trigger the 10K trap, I will consider entering there, but I need the market to open first. Kellyanne says there's actually news announcement. Let me check. I didn't even check that. Good call on that, Kellyanne. Good looking out. Let's look at the news here. We do have a PMI at 10 o'clock Eastern time, so we may be chopping around until the PMI. If you guys are just joining, make sure you guys fill out that poll. Let me know what kind of day you think it's going to be. You're going to close it up soon. Also, make sure you scalp that like button for those who are joining, like to support this channel. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that this channel is out there and it started, and that and when you guys come and start chatting, it also helps out the YouTube algorithm a lot. So do appreciate that.
Five-minute trap.
We're about to trigger. Market just opened, and actually it makes a point on the downside here. I'm gonna skip, this trade. It is a reversal trade on the 10K, but I'm skipping it. Unless we get a higher low setup. Maybe if we get a higher low setup, I'm very interested in looking for a new high here. We may get a higher low setup here. Boy, oh boy, this is very tempting to go long here. It's outside bar reversal for the time being. Higher low setup here. In this trade, scalped out immediately. Let's go, baby. My marker's on. Let me turn my markers off. That's from the pre-market show. Let's go, baby. Easy peasy, easy money. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Could have came out with a little bit more on that one, but scalp out. Let's make my quick bamboo here. Up 162. And with that being said, if I stop here and I just continue to do that every day, then at the end of the year I will have, if you have 4 accounts, you will be able to average out at the end of the year $162,000. $162,000 if that's only one scalp a day. And that's only if you have 4 accounts with a trade copier. I have way more than 4 accounts, but I'm just saying if you have 4 accounts, it's just an easy number to use because you can just multiply by 1,000. Dear Panda, do we have Uriel always writing these letters to me? Dear Panda, do we have 50% for the funded account with BBM50? Not for the funded account, only for the evaluation. There is no fee for the funded account. Only the licensing and data fee, but you don't have to pay like an evaluation fee for the funded account. The funded account, once you get it, you just get it. So you don't really need a 50% off code for funded accounts. For the evaluations to get the funded account, then yes, there's a coupon BBM50. You can see in the bottom of your screen, and also a pin message in the chat as well. It's getting choppy here now, and to me, this is fair enough to a retest of this high. You know, this could be all we get here. We got, you know, push up here, another push up, right? 2 attempts up to get it, and we couldn't get it. This is also a 2-leggy. A, B, C. And yeah. Getting very choppy. I mean, I'm expecting it to be like this until 10 o'clock. Oh, pandas! Oh, today's Tuesday. I went crazy for a second. I thought today was Wednesday. I don't know why. And I was like, man, we're supposed to have a Whiskey Wednesday. Tomorrow's Whiskey Wednesday, so for those who are excited about that, make sure you join us tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm looking at any big news items. We have non-farm employment change tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. And we also have at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Fed Chair Powell testifies. That's tomorrow morning. So yep, that's gonna be tomorrow. So make sure you keep that in your calendars and just be aware of that for tomorrow. We have non-farm employment change, and that's 8:15 a.m. and also Fed Chair Powell tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And so we'll have a whiskey challenge going. We do have a trap trade to the long side here. It's an outside bar reversal. It does trigger, and boom. Maybe trying to make that new high still, but outside bar reversal does make a nice scalp there. But outside bar reversals, I hate them. I just won't enter it. We do make a new high here. Higher time frames, notice we are above the 20 EMA. We just keep hitting it and bouncing off of it. That could give us a clue that we might be in an uptrend. Also, let's see the 5-minute here. We do have a trap on the 5-minute. I didn't realize that, but we have a trap triggering a Pikachu on the 5-minute here. About to hit yesterday's close. And on the daily, you know, we're coming back up here, hitting yesterday's close, and we'll see. I mean, like I said, we might just be chopping around. I'm not going to be super convinced or convicted to go in a strong uptrend here. Uriel says, do we have to pay for funded account? You do not have to pay for it. You get it. But there is a monthly fee for every account that you have once it's funded, which is a licensing, includes licensing and data. And so I'm sure they just make some money off of that. I'm sure licensing and data doesn't cost that much, but you just pay like $85 a month per account you have. No matter what account you have, you pay $85 a month. Second Clan says, what's the fee for the trade cop? I believe right now it's like $150 if you use the Apex one. I didn't do much research on trade copiers, but I just used the Apex one and $150. We are pushing above yesterday's close now. So we do have our right channel, and our channel tested the new high. And now we made a new high. And so we'll see here how much higher we go. I mean, this is the area I will look for a reversal, but seeing that we're clearly above the 20 MA on the higher time frames, lower time frames, we'll see here. We'll see. you're right. Interesting. Oh, why is that not happening? That is so weird. 1 second. Something must have happened. One second, Pandas. I'll be right back. There we go. One second. All right, there it is. I honestly hate this one feature that Windows has, and I cannot turn it off. But if you like have a window, and okay, what's going on here? If you have a window and you like kind of shake it, it minimizes everything, and that's what happened. And I think that messed up the screen capture, and so I had to like refresh it. I hate that feature. I don't know anyone who's like using that feature, like that shaking feature. When you have a window, you shake it and it minimizes everything else. Like I want to turn that off. I believe it's called arrow shake. I hate it. I've never used it once on purpose. It's always like it happens. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I want my windows back. I don't know. But if you minimize a window, it kind of messes up the screen capture, which is what happened. Terrible. But appreciate the let me know. All right, we got two leggy here, and this is not a place where I'm looking for a long. I'm actually looking for a short trade here. I'm gonna take this short trade. I don't want an outside bar reversal, but it's above the 20 MA. But this is where I like to go short. I'm gonna try to take it with the gosh, too slow. I wanted like a small retracement, and I didn't like how I was kind of going back up on the outside bar reversal, but it just spiked down before I can enter. But that's where you look for a short trade. You're not looking for a long trade here. The reason being is because we have break a trend where we have this channel break, made a new high, 4 pushes up, L4 setup, lower high setup, trap trade off of the yesterday's close. And so this is a good place to go short, not long. And the only reason why I was hesitant to enter is because we're above the 20 MA. So I kind of was waiting for a deeper trace back, but, a deeper retracement. And before I can enter, it just shot down and scalped out, so no longer entering that trade. But yeah, kind of frustrating because I wanted to enter that trade but didn't get a chance to. But just slightly hesitant because we're above the 20 MA. Right idea, poor execution, couldn't even get in the trade. And the fact that it made an outside bar reversal and actually spiked down, kind of came back up, I'm like, I've seen that too many times happen, and it actually reverses and kind of breaks out to the other side. Because essentially it's a failed trap, right? That outside bar reversal and coming back up. And what do I mean by that? It made a two-legged pullback. A, B, C. It pushed up to create the second entry long. Reverses to create a trap all in one bar. But that bar closes above and kind of goes up higher. And so you're kind of thinking, okay, the outside bar reversal trap is failing and it might go back up. So very complicated for those who are not used to counting legs, but with the trade, obviously with the two-legged pullback indicator, is easy to see that, but that's all that price action that happens in there. So that was a lot of price action happening in that little teeny spot, and for us we might say it's noise, or for some people might say it's noise, but for those who know how to count legs and read the price action, we know that's not noise. We know that a lot of things are happening here on purpose, and we actually created a nice setup for us to go short, but just executed it poorly. I wanted a deeper retracement. I don't know why. I wanted like reduce my risk a lot because because we were above the 20 MA. But yeah, it is what it is. Move on to the next trade, and as suspected, we're coming back down into probably this choppiness until I think 10 o'clock. We do get 4 pushes down here, and in my opinion, we are still effectively in a downtrend. Overshoot of this downtrend, in my opinion. This is how I'm reading it. This is how I'm marking it. Overshoot of the downtrend could lead up to an overshoot to the other side, but we shall see. We're just waiting. I don't have a good setup here right now. Let's look at the higher time frames while we wait. Okay. This uptrend here, overshoot on the uptrend, could lead to overshoot to the other side on the 10,000 tick chart. The 5-minute chart, I only really like to start charting this after the market opens, so it's just not enough bars here. Reason being is because I don't like to include the overnight session, because the overnight session has such a low volume. It's very hard to find reliable price action, but even the overnight session looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is like almost regular price action in the day in the Globex session. Yeah, you usually get a lot of this happening here. Man, look at that huge trading range down here all the way back up. Keep pushing down, no setups for me. Just watching this go. I would like another leg down here, but I would need a pullback, potentially back to the trend line or the 20 MA at least. If I were to manually draw a trading range, it would look something like this. Something like this. Maybe even like this. If we were to manually draw this trading range, maybe something along these lines here. Strong push down. We do come back up to hit the 20 MA, but not a setup that I can take here. So I'm just watching, no setups for me, so just nothing for me to really consider. What am I anticipating here, though, is a question. You know, what are you anticipating while you look at you're looking at this chart? I mean, obviously downtrend right now, but potentially coming back into our trading range. Might have a failed breakdown to come back up. I may look for a trap trade to the upside in this area, but a lot of price action needs to happen in order for that to even happen. So we'll just wait and see. Jar Jar says, I'm up 2K on the day. I might be done. Let's go, baby. Congratulations. That's a quick $2,000. I mean, what other hobby can you do that you can gain $2,000 within 15 minutes of trading? Within 15 minutes. That's a great output. We do have a trap triggering to the downside, a little too far away from 20 MA. It isn't a downtrend, but nothing particular I like about this trade other than it's a trap, but too close to the bottom of a trading range that I've drawn here. In fact, it's an overshoot of this downtrend, thinking we might come back up to have an overshoot to the other side. We have an undershoot, might lead to an overshoot. And this trap actually fails, and that's why it reverses strongly here. I'm not looking for a long trade here either. Still a downtrend, in my opinion, but most likely what happens if we get an overshoot, right? Undershoot to an overshoot, which is what we're getting here, overshoot. This failed trap sometimes leads to reversals, and so I'm gonna sit on my pause. I mean, everything's a first entry here, so I'm not really interested in anything, but just looking. I want a good setup. I want a clear trend, right, or clear trading range. Trade accordingly. Right now, unsure. Sitting on my pause. Undershoot, overshoot. I still think this trading range is valid, and I think we still want to get to the bottom of it. I'm being a little rebellious right now because my trading range indicator is marking the trading range up here. But I'm going to manually draw my trading range right now. But who knows? Maybe my my trading range indicator is more accurate than my manual trading range, which I guess is a good thing. Undershoot leading to overshoot here, in my opinion. That's what I'm reading. Clearly above the 20 MA and the higher time frames. Right, failing to break below the 20 MA. The 5-minute chart. Okay. Could potentially create a two-legged pullback here. In my opinion, I'll look for a short trade actually here, but making these higher lows right throughout this time. Making these higher lows here, and we could be in something like this. Something along these lines here. Outside bar reversal. We're getting a lot of outside bar reversals. Outside bar reversal here. Outside bar reversal here. Outside bar reversal here. Outside bar reversals to me just means choppiness and very difficult, right? When we have 3 outside bar reversals within, outside bar reversals actually are not very common. They'll happen every once in a while, but right now we just saw 3 of them happen right during stream, and so we're thinking the market's confused, and yeah, so I'm not going to enter the outside bar reversal, but like I said, I was looking for a short trade if I were to find one, and that was a short trade, right? Looking for a new low here, right? Break of trend to new low. And we've just made our new low here, so we might look for a long trade now. Also, overshoot of this channel to this side, right? Overshoot to undershoot. There's a lot of mixed things, like a lot of things mixed up here right now, so a little difficult to read this in my opinion. We basically had this, head and shoulders pattern here, breakout, made a nice little channel here. Am I looking to go short? Well, another outside bar reversal. Absolutely incredible. So we had about 4 outside bar reversals happening right now. Getting a strong push down though. Typically what happens is we create a support at the bottom of a channel and the market tries to decide if we want to turn to a trading range. And this is what we're finding ourselves here, especially with the break of trend to new low. You're looking for potentially a reversal setup here. So we'll see if we get it. I mean, especially with this trap not really reversing, just kind of spikes down and basically failed breakdown. We could have a reversal here, and I would look for a failed second entry short in this area if I can get it. But usually spike in channels, what they end up leading to, right? Spike to a channel, and this channel, at the bottom of the channel, what ends up happening is that you sometimes find support there, because what ends up happening is that a trading range starts to form, and this channel ends up becoming a bull leg in that trading range. And so this is a trading range going up, now come back down, and now we might come back up. You know, we're just waiting to see. But my setup right now, all I know is the setup I'll be waiting for at this spot would be a failed second entry short. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a setup that looks like this, failed second entry short, and right, we have two legs up, second entry short, and that fails, and this is the setup I'm looking for. Let's see if we get it though, pandas. You know, I have a setup I'm looking for, waiting for. If we don't get it, we don't get it, we move on. But if we do get it, then I'm interested in going into it. And this is price action trading, right? I don't have any indicators here. I don't have any RSI indicators. I don't have any indicator momentum indicators, right? Those are all lagging indicators. I'm reading this chart and bar by bar, and this is what typically happens. So we're gonna trade according to what typically happens here. So I'm not gonna go short here. I'm actually trying to find a failed second entry short, see if I can find a long trade if possible. It's a second entry short, beautiful signal bar, but we're far away from a 20 MA. Also, we're in an area where we actually are looking to go long here. So I'm not interested in that short trade, right? Too far away from 20 MA. I'll be interested in going long here. Outside bar reversal again, pandas. Another outside bar reversal. That one looks like it's about to fail though. You know, that's like, how many outside bar reversals have we seen? That actually triggers the outside bar reversal and comes back down and feels that it actually scalps out. This is one of those days that I'm just sitting on my paws, and I'm glad I am, because very confusing, very confusing. We've had so many outside bar reversals, and when we have outside bar reversals on the smaller time frames, that's going to affect the higher time frames, right? Because the market is fractal. So when we see outside bar reversals on the smaller time frames, that's going to lead to probably a trading range in the higher time frames. Most likely. I mean, it could be wrong, but most likely. We do have a trap setting up on the higher time frame though, which typically work out very well. Very high probability trade here, and we may be interested in going short here, but I don't want to enter an outside bar reversal. But it's a trap trade. But the problem is, it's a first break of trend, and so, you know, typically on a first break of trend, you look for a test of the extreme, and so this might be a little premature if you're trying to reverse it here. With that being said, I'm going to skip all those trades, and it's unfortunate because you know, it's gonna be a little boring, but that's what trading is, right? Trading is boring. Trading should be very boring, and that's what it is here. We do have an announcement at 10 o'clock. Double bottom here, coming off the bottom of the channel. So typically this acts as support. Breaking above the 20 MA now. The trap is gone on the 10,000 tick chart, which is a good sign for me because I won't be tempted anymore. Outside bar reversal on the 5-minute chart as well. Seems like, yep. Pokes up and then reverses in one bar. Absolutely amazing. So many outside bar reversals. It's one of those days when you see that many outside bar reversals, you just like you just want to scalp. You do not really want to stay in swing trades, in my opinion. And these are clues in the price action telling us that we're gonna have a choppy day today, or at least until maybe 10 o'clock, and we'll see. But in my opinion, I don't think the news is gonna do much. I really don't think the news is going to do much. Turtle Toes blew up his eval. Ah, that's unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate. But I'd rather blow up an eval than lose your actual money. You know, that is, I think, 100% true. Setting up a pull here. Big push up here. News just started. Just got news. Just waiting for a good setup here. The news created a big push up, but who knows what that'll lead to. I mean, it pushed up, but it's not that much. I've seen bigger. I've seen bigger volatility than that. In fact, we couldn't even break. We couldn't even get up here. So kind of curious what's happening. I feel like this is going to reverse down, and if we break below here, we could have a strong push down here. Very strong push down. We couldn't even break above here, which means on a 10,000 tick chart, we're actually making lower highs, right? With this 3, we know that we couldn't break the previous pivot high, making lower highs. Big push down, no setups for us pandas. So we're just watching this go and let it happen. You know, what can we do? We did get a bounce off of that channel, you see. We at the bottom here, I drew this before we even got here, or while this was forming, and I mentioned that we could have some support here. And what ended up happening is that at that support, and we kind of created a trading range, we're right back down to the bottom of it, making lower highs. And it makes me feel like we're going to break below it now. The fact that we couldn't come back to the top of it, right, to yesterday's close, makes me feel like and in fact, we couldn't even break above this pivot. Makes me feel like we're going to push down harder, but no setups for me. If I have a second entry short, I'll consider it, but I don't have that. So just waiting, just sitting on my pause. XAU says, if you weren't trading futures and trade normal stocks, would you still be using a tick chart? I probably wouldn't. If I were to trades, the reason why we use tick charts on the futures is because of the amount of volume there is. Such high volume, you can use tick charts, but I think on stocks, I definitely wouldn't use tick charts. No, definitely not. Another leg down. I would trade a trap trade. So if we get a failed second entry long here, I'll go short here. I'll look to go short. Mostly because we have selling pressure, right? We couldn't come back up, break this pivot, right? Making lower highs, lower lows. If I get a failed second entry long here, I'll go short, but I need the setup to come to me, pandas. I'm not chasing anything. I'm just going to let the setup come to me. We don't even trigger a second entry long. Sitting on my pause here. Curious. Someone mentioned measure move. It makes me wonder if there's a measure move here. Okay. Kind of makes sense, but no setups for me still. This is going to go on without us, and it might push down strongly, and we're just going to miss this big move down because we didn't get a setup. And this is why we don't enter unless we get a setup, because this could happen. Now we're getting our setup here. Big push up. I may still be interested in going short here on that third push down, but I would need a pretty good signal bar, and signal bar is looking not good. Still below the 20 MA, pushing up. I'm not sure if I want to go short anymore. Right, with two strong bull bars like this, I'm not sure if I want to go short here. But we're still below the 20 MA. And we're trying to break down here, failing to do so. Could get a strong push up here. On the 10,000 tick chart, we have a second entry long forming here with a trap trade that fails to have any follow through. So this could be a big push up here. We could get a big push up on the 10,000 tick. We immediately scalp out on the 10,000 tick. Just watching, just watching. No setups for me, pandas. And it's just the nature of the market right now. It just looks very ugly. And unfortunately, we just don't have any good setups, in my opinion. I just don't see it. I don't see it. We did have a strong push down. Creating these small trading ranges. The trading range indicator is working perfectly here. Right, just giving us these small trading ranges as they're forming. It's just a bunch, right? Trading range after trading range to another trading range. Trading range here, pops up, another trading range here, pops up. Let's see if we maybe pop down, pop up, who knows? Right, fail breakout, coming back to the bottom trading range. Trading range indicator just working beautifully for us right now. Giving us hints way over here, telling us we were getting choppy. Way over here, we're getting choppy. Just be aware. And finally, we get the trading range. Strong push down. Outside bar reversal on the 10,000 tick chart. So many outside bar reversals. Pops up and reverses outside bar reversal on 10,000 tick. We're getting so many outside bar reversals on the 2,000, the 5 minute, the 10,000 tick. Like, in my opinion, like, I would just stay away from this market today, and I'll just I mean, it might be wise to just not even touch this market and just get a step away. If you're in the green right now, just step away from it. In my opinion, I'm just I'm sitting on my pause. We're very choppy right now, and in this China choppiness, we could reverse back up. We can come back down. You know, we can have a strong push down and then reverse immediately. Right, A tops, V bottoms. In my opinion, it's just not tradable. This is not tradable price action, and I'm just sitting on my pause because of that. And it might be one of those days where I really might just turn off my charts and just wait for tomorrow. You know, I made my bamboo already today, just a little bit, but you know that might be enough for today. Who knows? Sitting on my paws. I mean, the trading range indicator marking for us this trading range, and it's just beautiful, beautiful, giving us perfectly our trading range here. Staying clearly beneath the 20 MA, as you can see. My bias is bearish, but also I'm in a trading range, you know. So we have both trading range and bearish bias, and it's just, I don't know. Lay said he got a $400 hit. A couple scalps you can make up. Stick to the plan. And we are pushing down now. We are pushing down. Let's see if we can find a larger channel here. Something like this maybe. Overshoot, undershoot to overshoot. And just grinding along the bottom here. Harry Nee asks, "How can I become a member?" I mean, if you're gonna give me a slow pitch, you know, softball, I'm gonna try to grand slam this. If you want to become a member, hit that join button, and if anyone who wants to become a member, you get access to not only, you know, a green name. Right, you don't get not only access to this two-legged pullback badge and forms over time, you not only get access to these amazing panda emoticons, only available, right, custom made for you pandas here, but you also get access to the pre-market show. Bernda says, "Well, I haven't made a single trade for the day yet. SMH." I mean, you might be shaking your head at the market, but I will say kudos to you because you're showing patience on a day like this. It's just not one of those days. I feel like you can find a lot of good setups, a lot of outside bar reversals happening, a lot of choppiness. We are going down though, but still a lot of choppiness. Michael B says, "Today is not a bad day, guys. It's not bad, guys. Just learn to read the charts. There's money there every day." Hey guys, how do I make money in trading? Hey, just learn to read the charts. You get it. Oh boy, I love it. That's all you gotta do. Just learn how to read the charts. I mean, if you can do that, you just make money. That's all it is. Easy as that. Piece of cake. Just learn how to read the charts. I will say there is, of course, money to be made today, and I'll say with limit orders. But with the two-legged pullback, I don't think there's any good setups. So we're just watching. Break a trend to new low here. Sack of Clam says, "Laugh a lot, happy flat. Gonna hang with my girlfriend if it doesn't speed up," and that's a good idea. Just take your mind off the charts and just do something else, because this is looking ugly right now. This is not it, guys. This is not it. And as I mentioned, when we hit these spots, we typically get these trading range days because the market pauses and wants to wait for some sort of confirmation. And so if we get like a bar that ends up like this at the end of the day, and then we break below here, boy oh boy, be ready for a nice move down, I think, personally. But I mean, we could get something like this, which would be amazing. We might get some sort of two-legged pullback, right? A lower high two-legged pullback of some sorts, and that second entry would be amazing. But you know, we'll just have to wait and see. So on the daily chart, it looks confusing. You know, that kind of leads to confusion on these smaller time frames. Harry Nee says, click join. If you minimize your screen, if you're on an iPad, you probably can't see that join button. I think I've heard people saying that there's no join button on the iPad, but if you watch it on your phone or on the computer desktop, you should be able to see a join button if you minimize the video. Uriel asked, how can I enter at the pre-market? I'm usually not on my computer with my phone. If you're using NinjaTrader, I don't think there's actually a very good viable way to do it. I do have like a remote desktop setup for my personal use, and I can access it through my phone. But even then, the trading is not good, really through my phone. So I don't think there's any really good place, any good way to really trade away from your computer using NinjaTrader. Maybe other platforms, but not NinjaTrader. I don't think NinjaTrader has a good viable mobile option yet. By the way, guys, if you're just joining, I'm Buy Money. We're up $162 today, making some small bamboo, but hey, that goes a long way. Profitability is key, and that's what's most important. And the thing is, pandas, if you're just joining, the thing you gotta know is that this is 100% risk-free trading, and I say that because that's what the series we are in right now. We're doing apex trading, and we're trading someone else's money, and when we trade someone else's money, this is risk-free. So how's that possible? Well, because they fund you if you can pass their evaluation, and if you pass their evaluation, and this is the last month of the coupon code, right? There's a valuation fee that you have to pay, and you get 50% off if you use BBM50, and so that's at the bottom of your screen. And there's also a link in the pinned message in the chat, and take full advantage of that while you can. Now, will they extend the coupon? I have no idea. But right now, all I know is that it ends at 3 at the end of this month, and so please take advantage of it if you guys can. And the thing is, the evaluation, the discount will continue as long of the lifetime of that account evaluation. And so if it takes you more than 1 month to pass the evaluation, which hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, nothing wrong with that, the coupon will still apply even after March 31st. This is a very nice two-legged pullback off of the 20 EMA. I'm going to skip it though, because I see this break a trend to new low, and in this choppiness, I'm actually looking for reversals right now. So I'm actually looking for a long trade at this moment. We don't trigger that second entry short, so we can't enter a trap trade, but that's a micro double bottom. That might be enough for traders, but for me, I'm waiting for a setup. I would like it if you can actually trigger this and trap. I would take a reversal here if I could, but we're not getting our setup. So in fact, it breaks above, and the micro double bottom was enough to trigger that reversal. Market was being stingy with me. It doesn't give me my second entry short to give me that trap trade to go long, unfortunately, but with the context, that's exactly what I was looking for it to happen. But I didn't get my setup, so this is why I'm sitting on my pause. But that, what I just mentioned, everything I said just happened. But if you don't get the setup, you just can't enter it. You gotta wait for the setup. So sitting on my pause here. But please take advantage of that coupon code while it lasts. Also, I would say we trade pure price action here. We trade here every single day at 9:15 for the mainstream, 9 o'clock for the pre-market show. And we trade the emini futures. It makes crypto look like child's play. The amount of liquidity and volume in the futures market, especially with the emini, there's nothing that comes close. And you can say forex market, but no single pair in the forex market, I believe, liquidates the not liquidates, but is more liquid than the emini. So that's why we trade it here every single day. We trade pure price action, right? We only look for two-legged pullbacks, right? We look for one setup, a two-legged pullback, and that's a price action setup, and that's what we look for every single day here. And we're just scalping the emini with two-legged pullbacks. If you want more information about the setup we take here, go ahead and go into the description. There's playlists going over the details of the setup. And also, if you're interested in, we have the trading range indicator, right, giving us right now all the trading ranges, right, using pure price action automatically. I'm not drawing these lines, but they're placed here automatically. And you see that we have a failed breakdown coming back up into our trading range. Also, trading our two-legged pullback indicator telling us all of the second entries, telling us all the traps. You know, if you're interested, it has alerts as well. It could be used for automated trading. It could be used for alerts, telling you when there's a second entry coming. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, you can go to the official website at www.twoleggedpullback.com. Cody M asks, say I wanted to have 2 accounts and trade copy of them. Would there be 2 fees for 2 evals or just 1 eval? Also a monthly price per copied account. So, I mean, when you use a trade copier, what you're doing is you're using it on other accounts. And so every account that you have will be considered its own individual account, even if you use the trade copier. So it will be per account. And the fee, also monthly fee, goes per account. Oh, Uriel Cohen says not to trade, only to see the pre-market show. Well, the thing is, a pre-market show will always be available, right? I mean, you can see the recordings after it's done. So, I mean, they're available for anyone. This is a trap trade I would be interested in, but obviously we're at the top of the trading range and it does scalp out. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that trade there, but in my opinion, the trap happened here and it happened here again. Not bad trade. It's just yeah, it's just a little too far away from 20 MA, and for me, I feel like that move already happened here, so a little hesitant to go here long. Overshoot here to possibly overshoot here, undershoot to overshoot. Also, make sure you scalp that like button if you're enjoying the content so far. That trap trade, I would say probably one of the well, really the only setup that I liked here throughout this entire time. I did take one trade here. Where did I go long? Oh, my long trade was right here. Long trade, scalped out here. So I had a long trade here, and other than that, this is probably the only other trade I liked. And it's giving us a nice push up here now. But missed it. Mainly because I felt like that move, I wanted this move here, happened here already. And was not expecting for this to trap here as well, so it is what it is. Plus top of the trading range. I mean, breakout most likely lead to a fail breakout. It might come back down into our trading range. Might come back into our channel here. Big bear bar ending on its low could lead to follow through. See if there's follow through here. Maybe a lower high setup here. I mean, in my opinion, we're in an uptrend right now. It might be short-lived, but uptrend nevertheless. This is my uptrend right now. It might create an outside bar reversal. Another outside bar reversal. Absolutely amazing. These outside bar reversals are just kind of rare to see them. You might see them once or twice in a day, but right now we're seeing like 8, 9 outside bar reversals, not including the higher time frames. If we include the higher time frames, it'd be like 11 of them. 4 tick scalps asking a good question. Anyone taking a second entry long at the EMA if it happens? So right now you have a second entry long A, B, C. Would you take the second entry long here? I wouldn't. I'll skip it. I'll look for a trap trade back into our channel here if we can get it. That's a trade I will be looking for. So I won't be looking for a second entry long. I'll be looking for a failed second entry long. So I will look for this trade here and reverse it. So I'll be doing. But we shall see if we get it. Looking for a trap trade to the downside if we can get it. We come break out of the trading range indicator, come back to the bottom of the trading range on the trading range indicator. Absolutely amazing. This indicator is just spot on right now, and it was most likely going to happen because of the type of day we're at. Our market cycle right now is trading range, so this one, the trading range indicator, really shines. Unfortunately, nothing actionable. Jack Beyond says no trades today. That's the first time I've heard that. He's being patient. If he doesn't like a setup, he's not going to take it. Especially if he's, you know, cranking like 20 contracts. I like this trap trade here, Pandas. I actually kind of like it. Kind of like this trap trade if we get it. Let's see if this trap lasts. Nope. No joy in the trap. Trap is gone. That was a 2-legged pullback off the 20 MA. Wasn't interested in taking it there though, because we have this trend line and we have a failed breakout. So I'm not looking to go long into this failed breakout. I'm looking to go. I'm trying to fade it if I can, and unfortunately, yeah. Just waiting. No setups for me that I like. I'm looking for a lower high, second entry short. If I can get it. Give me a lower high, second entry short, I'm in. Or should I go long here? I don't know. Just waiting. I don't like the price action. Just waiting. Just waiting. I'm actually thinking about going short here if I can. Actually, I'll look to go. I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit on my pause. I don't know. I just don't know. It's confusing. All I know is that I don't have a setup. And so without a setup, I can't trade. We just reset this account. We have one gray one here and a gray one here on next reversal. So we just completely reset everything. Reset all our accounts here. We could be like this for an entire day, to be honest. Trading range. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if we have news later with a State of the Union and the daily chart. We are right at a spot where we're confused. We do not know if this is going to break above the 20 minute, or is the 20 minute going to act as resistance, or are we going to break above it? So, this is why we pause here to give traders a chance to make a decision here. Haber Cardenas asks, is that a reverse head and shoulders? Is this an inverse head and shoulders? Technically, I guess you can say that, but I wouldn't consider that. No, I wouldn't. But I mean, head and shoulders is a head and shoulders. I mean, the funny thing about markets is that these patterns are everywhere, right? There's a head and shoulders here. Right, you actually have a head and shoulders maybe happening. Well, actually broke below here, so that doesn't count. You can say this is a head and shoulders as well. Right, you can say this is a head and shoulders. Break up. I mean, they're everywhere. Right, head and shoulders could be everywhere. They can be nested within each other as well. And so, like the right shoulder could be a head and shoulder in itself. So, days like this where it's very choppy, these patterns, I don't think they mean as much as they typically would. No setups though, and I mean, the nice thing is we know that we have no setups, at least. So what can we do? Like for me, like I honestly might just close my charts for the entire day, and just it might not be worth staring at this chart trying to find a good setup, and waste that mental capital, that precious mental capital. It seems like a lot of you guys are in that $0 to $500 range. Some of you guys making over $1,000, and a lot of us making our little red today. And that's okay. I mean, today, if you're red, you're probably in good company, because I am certain people are getting chopped up today. People who cannot read the price action very early on, especially right here when I saw like 3 outside bar reversals. My mom was like, we're in trading range day today. I mean, that price action is not normal, and we should not be getting that many outside bar reversals like back to back. So just getting so many outside bar reversals along this way, it's just, in my opinion, it didn't feel confident any trends. So you're probably in good company if you are red today, in my opinion. People might say this is an easy day, but in my opinion, for most people, this will be a very difficult day. Most people. Spawn Production says, it's Wick City, baby. We're getting a push up here. I kind of like this push up. Pandas. I kind of like this push up. Huh. The bad thing is we're at the top of the trading range, but I like this push up actually a lot. Sit on my pause, unfortunately, but I like this push up. Small push up, just for a scalp. But I can't. This channel here blocking me. Top of the trading range, very close. Unfortunately, I'm skipping this trade. Scalps out immediately. Hits the top of the trading range, bounces back off of it. Exactly what that was going to happen. I want to just get that small scalp, and I think I'm getting a little impatient here. Showing the digression of my mental capital. Starting to get impatient. Entering trades like this. Knowing that there's many reasons not to enter that trade, but kind of liking the setup. Liking the higher low, right? No, so yeah, the higher low, second entry long, good signal bar, but just barely enough room to make a scalp there. Ends up making a nice scalp, and we may reverse here now. I have to go short here, pandas. I have to go short here. Too leggy. I have to go short here. I'm gonna go short here, pandas. I didn't like the signal bar though. I didn't like the signal bar being the short signal bar. Ends up being a nice scalp. I wanted to go short there, but I didn't like that signal bar. I wanted another bar to finish before this, because this was the signal bar, and I didn't like it. Right, even though it looks like pretty bearish, it's actually a wick, right? Actually a trading range in this one bar, right? Big up, big down, and so what it can lead to is a failed breakdown and come back up into this wick here. So this is why I didn't want to enter that trade, but it ends up being a nice little trade from the top to the bottom of the trading range.
5
and the trading
minute
range
trap.
indicator, which is what I wanted. But pandas, I just didn't like entering right there with this bar. I wanted one more bar to finish and enter in, but it is what it is. A lot of hesitation here, but that's a trade I liked. I really liked that trade, actually. Just maybe a little too hesitant, a little too scared here to trade. There was one time I did do a full day. I did do a full day stream, and I actually enjoyed it. But the main reason why I don't do it is because I actually work full time, and so I cannot do this for that long. So unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. I'll say we do kind of have this like bearish bias here right now, but still too choppy. So pandas, how you guys doing? I like this pull. I like this pull here. I think I don't know what ranges I should use for the pull, but I like the range here. I don't know. Maybe it seems like most of you guys are in that $500 profit. And a lot of you guys are also in the negative. I might make another bracket on the negative portion. Huh. Aaron Korn says, do you have a day off work? Not yet. Not yet. Kid Poker asks, you don't make a living from trading? Not yet. I've mentioned this a couple times, but in terms of the math, you know, in my opinion, Spawn Production, Michael Chin. Who's Michael Chin? Why do you guys keep bringing up Michael Chin? I don't know who that is. So my occupation is IT, and so I develop, and so you know, that's partially the reason why I developed the indicator here, because this is what I do. And being in IT, you know, you're making on average, you know, 6 figures, right? And so let's just say, you know, minimum I make 100K or something like that. Now, if I were to make 100K, right, from my work, my trading would have to exceed 100K for me to quit my work, in my opinion. Like, I'm not expecting to quit my full-time job unless I can make more than I make in my full-time job plus more, like way more. And in my opinion, also, you should have in your bank account at least 1 year's of salary, just in case things go awry. You should have in your bank account, right, 1 year's salary, so you can live off that 1 year salary if you had to. And so, in my opinion, you know, to become a full-time trader, at least for me to do it in a way where I feel comfortable, is I would have to make enough money in these, you know, while I just trade on the side here while I work, and so make way more money than I do my full-time job, plus be consistent enough where I can rely on it. And so all of that has to happen, you know, and it's just, you know, in my opinion, well, we'll see. You know, with the Apex copier, it could actually be, you know, becoming a full-time trader could actually be obtainable. in my opinion. Sack of Clam says Michael Chin is our hero. You guys have little statues of him? I'm back end developer. So you know, when in my opinion, if you're gonna go full time, you have to have enough money, right, to live off, and not only that, to trade off. And so not only do you have enough money to live off, you have to have enough money to trade off. And so with Apex funded traders, there's actually a lot more, let's say, the chances of that happening are a lot higher, because you know, with the trade copier, you know, if you can make $100, $200 a day on one account, and if you can make like 200K, you know, at the end of the year, those numbers are actually numbers where you can start to consider, maybe I can do this full time. Maybe I can do this full time, at least for me. You know, with the cost of living where I live, you know, the bamboo forest is expensive to live here, and when you have you know, a panda fam that you gotta take care of, you know, you gotta be in a place where you're stable enough to really consider trading full time. And I know I'm being realistic as possible, and I might be bursting a lot of people's bubbles, saying, "Oh man, I'm going to become a full time trader. This is awesome. I love making money, sitting on my desk, you know, at home every single day, and it's like free money. You don't have to do any work." But the truth is, it's like to be in a place where you can do that, man. You have to be. I think there's a lot more that needs to happen before I would even do that. So, let's see if we make a new low here. So I mean, just being 100% honest. Turtle says positive on all except the blown up eval. Yeah, female pandas are very expensive. I'll say that right now. We're getting a breakdown here now. Maybe starting to create a trend, but hard to say. I mean, multiple bear bars in a row, small pullback. Hitting the bottom of our channel now. Hard to go short this far away from 20 MA. This was your entry here if you were to enter that, right? It feels like entry long. But you know, you're thinking, at least at this point, this trading range is gonna live on. And breaking below our channel now. Very interesting. Multiple bear bars in a row. Always in short at the moment, but coming to the bottom of our channel now. So hard to go short here this late in the trend. Kind of have an exhaustive bar right here. On the daily chart, this is not looking good. I'll just say if we end something like this today, which I don't know if we will, But if we end like this today, man, I doubt we will, but I still think we have trading range day today. Big old trading range. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if daily creates a big doji bar of some sort. We are at the bottom of our channel here, bouncing off. Not looking to go short here. Even though we are in a downtrend, I'm not looking to go short here. Too far away from 20 MA. And also, it's late in trend. If you're going to go short here, you'll have to scalp it. It'll have to be a scalp, not a swing trade in my opinion. I like that trade here that I missed, unfortunately. And that was the beginning of the downtrend. It'd been nice if you get in there. Actually, no, you've been stopped out. Your runner would have been stopped out. Actually, would it have been? Yeah, it would have been. You can consider a trap trade here, but not for me. Too risky. I'm not looking to go long either, so we're kind of like stuck in this little weird limbo here. It is a strong downtrend, but too far in a downtrend, right? Too far away from 20 MA. Also, bottom of the channel, so I'm not looking to go short here. Even though we are in a downtrend, doesn't mean you just go short. In fact, here might be a decent long trade. Nope, ends up being, yeah, spikes down, spikes back up. Just hard to trade in my opinion. So no setups really for me. I mean, we've had this chop for like the last, basically the entirety of the stream until now. Finally, this downtrend is beginning to start here. But other than that, no other setups. So many multiple is unsustainable downtrend. It should have a small pullback sometime soon. Let's see if we come and break the low, overnight lows. Is that the overnight lows? Yep, overnight lows here. All right, Panis. Hope everyone is doing well, and it seems like a lot of you guys are in the green today, even though some of you guys are negative, but it's okay. Especially if you're trading Apex, if you're negative, then you're using someone else's money, and so that's the beauty of Apex. But Pandas, hopefully you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Trade safe, everybody, as always. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. And a small announcement, Thursday, Friday, I actually won't be streaming. I actually have a small, I'll be out of town, and so I'll be out of forest. And if you guys are wondering where I'm at on Thursday morning, it's because I'll be gone. So I'll be streaming tomorrow, and tomorrow's Whiskey Wednesday, so hopefully you guys can join us and scalp that like button. And yeah, but other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early. 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the mainstream, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. As always, happy trading and God bless. Bye.